I mean, generally checking the job description is crucial also, especially for the trust question, for the value question.
Hi and welcome back to our channel. My name is Jörg, which is German for George, here at Find a Job in Germany in Berlin. And with me today is my colleague and partner Tammo. Hi Tammo, wie geht's?
Hi Jörg, mir geht's gut und dir?
Wonderful, wonderful. People, in one of the previous videos, we were featuring how German companies are different when it comes to hiring methods, hiring periods, and so on and so forth. And we also issued a couple of interview questions that German companies like to ask. And this is where you came in and you asked us following up, hey guys, can you also share more interview questions that German companies typically ask when they're hiring for tech and IT professionals globally? And what we did was go ahead and actually compile our favorite questions that we know German companies ask, but also that we like personally, because we used to work as tech recruiters. That's the questions that we used to apply. And we're going to tell you why we like these questions, because that's also already going to give you a pretty good hint at what the answer should be about. Let's go, Tammo. My first question to you, what is your first favorite job interview question that you know German companies use, but that you also like when you are doing interviews?
Yeah, exactly. Before I start, just let me give a quick overview about what we talked last time. In general, you have 4 to 5 interview rounds with the German companies. First round is usually an HR round. Last round is a culture fit round. The middle part is usually more technical. What we are focusing on today is the first and the last rounds, because you will see that those rounds are pretty important for you, and they are different to what you know usually when you're interviewing in countries like India. That means, I would say, you will see that 50% of you being hired is your tech skills, the middle part, and 50% is this cultural fit part, what we're focusing on right now. So let me start maybe with a pretty simple one, which all of the HR guys will ask you in the very, very first round. And their question is just, why do you want to work for us? Right?
Why do you want to work for us? That sounds so easy. Why do you like it, and what is important here?
Because it is the most simple and obvious question you can ask. And when I work as a tech recruiter, you always ask this question. And I tell you what, 70% of the people do not have a good answer for that, because A, they just are not prepared. They don't even know what the company is doing, what the business model is, what the company cultures look like. So they didn't take I don't know, 10 to 20 minutes to prepare for that interview. I mean, and that's a rollout criteria, right? If you don't do that, you're out. And B, because a lot of people do not know how to attach their own story to the company's story, which is usually also pretty simple. I mean, if the company does not have one super, I don't know, fancy, advanced, I don't know, business model where it's really hard to get an angle to. But this question is super easy and to prepare for, and a lot of people don't do that. And if you don't do that, you're out, because you're simply not motivated. You didn't take 10 minutes to prepare for that interview. This is why I like this question.
And if you really are looking for a good response, go get your Find a Sparring partner. If you want to work with us, naturally, we're going to work with you, but you can also ask a friend to provide you feedback on your response and what they think is a credible response to why you want to work for a certain company. But don't let that friend not know about the company. They also have to have a look at the website, etc. So do your research.
One other question is, which I personally like, is which values do you find important when working in our team or in our company?
This is really culture fit related now, though, isn't it?
Exactly. This is really culture fit. This has usually been asked in later rounds and in last rounds. And why I find this interesting is because most candidates don't know, either they don't know what values are or they don't really understand this question.
Which is sad, yeah.
Because usually then you get replies like, I don't know, I like good communication, or I like whatever, what answers do we get there? I like, being on time and
exactly
those kind of things.
That have to do with processes and how things are done, but those are not values in itself.
Exactly. So if you get this question rather go deeper, right? Think about values, and values could be, I don't know, trust, respect, right? Being open-minded. Those are underlying values which I find important. I mean, if you do not trust or respect your colleague, you are not able to give constructive feedback. You're not able to ask questions because you're afraid. Yeah, you're not able to work together. So, if you ask this question about values, really talk about values, and you will see if you talk about values like trust, respect, and so on, outcoming from those values are the basis for all the other things like communication, constructive feedback culture, all those things which follow up on that. Yeah, so that is why I like this question a lot.
Very nice. What's your next favorite interview question that you like?
I have so many, but maybe in this context, one last question, which I think is a good fit here. That could be, what does diversity mean for you? So why did I pick this question? Because simply, when company hiring in an international context, they usually ask this question because you are not coming from the same work culture like me or like the company. Yeah, and the company maybe is full of Germans. I don't know. They have a certain understanding of how to work together, how work culture should work, and what they want is they want someone in their team who aligns with those values and this work culture. So that is why a lot of recruiters ask you this question, and this question seems quite difficult. Diversity, what is it? It is a big term, let's so to speak, and there usually I find a quick and simple answer is just the best one. So you simply quote that diversity for you means to respect each and everyone for who they are. That could be a simple explanation. Of course, there are 1 million different ones, but pick a simple one. You don't need to talk lengthy stories and so on when you get asked this question.
If I may add to your question, what does diversity mean to you? A good starting point is for you to check the job description. With a lot of companies, that there are non-discrimination clauses at the very bottom of the JDs. You may have seen that before. And in these clauses, companies essentially issue a statement whereby they say they're not going to discriminate on the grounds of, and you have a whole variety of categories. And this is important. Diversity is not just you being from another country, or a German being from Germany and you being from India. Diversity in that sense is much more complex. It has to do with all the nitty-gritty things that maybe some people feel uncomfortable talking about. We're talking about not just religion and nationality, we're talking about gender, we're talking about sexual orientation, we're talking about special abilities. All these things matter so much nowadays because it's, again, about the environment of mutual respect and trust. Tammo mentioned these kinds of values. So also here, have a good response ready. This is important.
So a lot of companies mention their values on their career page. So check their career page, see what is important to them, and then align with those values ideally.
That's how that goes.
Jörg,
Exactly. Oh.
what are your top three?
Oh, my top three. I have to start with one that I like to ask in a first round, and that is, what is the product that you're currently working on? And you want to take note to product and currently working on. It's usually an intro question before I delve into the tech stack assessment, because it gives me an understanding of whether someone has actually tried to understand what I mean, because too often candidates will go ahead and start talking about what they're currently working on. But that's a difference. I don't want to know what it is that you're currently working on. I want to know about the product that you're helping build, because somewhere in that pipeline stands an end customer, an end user, and a client that is issuing their services, or that is selling their products to certain people. That is the product that you want to share insights about. And the problem really is here, I find too often we listen to reply, not to understand. And it also helps me really understand whether somebody is able to see their work in a larger business context. Because you're not just going to be asked to, sit in a corner at your laptop and code your code all day long without not being in touch with the outside world, they're going to want you to become an essential, valuable team member and also therefore understand about the business, what runs the business, how they're making money. And that is not just by you writing clean code, but it's you contributing to that for sure. And that's how you have to show that you are able to contribute. Also, it really helps me get a good understanding of the person's communication skills. Is this person really able to give me a crisp, brief summary in 1 to 2 sentences on what it is that they're helping to build and what the product really is? And that could be, so I'm working on a communication platform as a service, which is for doctors, medical staff, and patients, used in the UK, for them to have 5,000 video calls per day, full stop. That is a product description. So that is what I like to ask. It really helps me catch several birds with one stone here.
That's true. Next one.
Another one would be more of a culture fit question. How would your best friend describe you? And there is this very, very general, give me some weaknesses and strengths bullshit question that a lot of Germans also like to ask. A lot of German HR people don't necessarily know what they're doing, but they like this question, so they keep on asking it. Besides weaknesses and strengths, the question, how would your best friend describe you, makes you really think. It really has to be something that you want to get a good response to, because it shows your capacity to reflect, self-reflect. And self-reflection is a skill that is more and more appreciated by companies during these days, because they're able to see to what extent you are not just circling around yourself, but you're also your phone, but how you're actually able to relate to your outside world and what your role in a circle of people really means. Able to show what your friend says about you is where I'm able to assess your communication skills, but also honesty and authenticity.
Exactly. Very, very, very important.
So you better have a good story ready. I like when people are able to give concrete examples here, and maybe you can relate to a friend and share some infos here.
Yes. In general, concrete examples are always good. If you want to talk, describe something about you, something specific about you or about your work life.
Absolutely. Finally, this is a bonus because I think we've now exceeded 5 questions already. Why should we not hire you? This throws so many people off. And sometimes at the very end is also a nice finishing line by companies. Give us a reason why we should not hire you. Do you have a criminal record or anything? And then that's a German way of humor, of course.
What do you say then?
I mean, hopefully you don't have a criminal record, but it's usually a good sign that they like you. And I would say you just have to smile and say, I don't see any reason why, but it's also really how you come across in that situation. You have to be able to make a connection to your interview partner here. That's what it comes down to. They're going to be checking you out for your soft skills, really, and not what you're saying as much as how you're saying it. Again, that's often the case, really.
So true. All right. If you find that interesting, also write that in the comments.
Please, we do follow up on that.
We have 1 million more questions which could be asked in interviews. Watch our 20 minutes video, which you find below this video. Understand how we work. Then book a get-to-know call. We're going to assess your profile. And if we think you have good chances of landing a job in Germany in 2 to 3 months based on your experience and your tech stack, we're going to make you an offer to join our program. We're going to work with you. And then it usually takes 2 to 3 months for you to get a job offer and land a job in Germany. Thank you very much. Auf Wiedersehen. Thank you,
so long.
Jörg.
Take care. Ciao, ciao.